Your defense.
I can hear you from here, just like that.
You won't be speaking anyway. Your defense, just talk about your defense, especially the last couple minutes, the way they came through.
Well, we felt like we wanted to pressure Nate Davis, and up front and the back end, we played good tight coverage. We mixed in, some zone every once in a while just to keep them honest. But I was very proud of how we played up front. I mean, we got to them a few times tonight. I don't know how many sacks we had, but I think we had 2 or 3 for sure. And then on the back end, our guys played good tight coverage. They got us early in the game, but as the game went on, we got a feel for them. And we just kept pressuring them. And finally, one possession game, we just, as a coaching staff, we wanted to keep the game. We want to stay in the game. That's why we kicked some field goals tonight. And, and it played out for us because, at the end, we got some good pressure on him. He threw it up, and Winfrey got the pick. And but, we had some guys grow up tonight. I thought we were struggling early in the first half with our backside corner. Cito got beat a few times, and then we put Taylor in. He got beat right away, but then he came back and played a solid second half. He got challenged at halftime, and he answered the phone. Our D-line, we got some hands on some balls tonight, batted some balls down. So pressure pick, cover sack, that's our deal here. So, but I thought, offensively, our offensive line did a good job tonight. Gardner did a great job running the football. We had some good tough yard. We wanted to make sure we were in the ball game. I thought Jorge Reyna grew up a lot from last week to this week, just learning our offense. You could see his timing during the week was getting better. When we started the way we started, man, I was like, holy cow, here we go. But, I went into halftime. I just told him, I said, look, guys, we were winning last week, 21-20, I believe it was at halftime, and we lost the game. I said, this week, I think we were down 3. And I just told the guys, look, let's keep fighting. Do whatever we got to do to stay in the game. Let's step up, make some plays, and we'll get a different outcome. And you can't say enough about the team effort. Craig hit a couple of deuces tonight that were huge. Gives us confidence to keep calling those type of plays. So I just thought, the energy in the building tonight was good. I thought the fans were great. The timing on the energy was excellent, especially on those key downs. So great team effort. Coaching staff, my assistant coaches, I thought they did a great job as well getting prepared this week, and good communication tonight on the headsets. And I can't say enough about the organization and just the fight that we got in this locker room. We got a lot of pride in this organization. And guys stepped up. We challenged them this week, and they answered the challenge.
Coach, now that you're able to attempt the deuce at any point, how much has that changed the game overall? Because when you have a solid kicker, that makes a huge difference. It can be a weapon for you.
Yeah, it does. We went for 2 there at the end. We didn't get it, but I was going for 2 because if we didn't get it, if they scored, it was going to keep them from going for 2. So that was kind of the thought process there, but we came up with a stop there. But as far as the special teams, it's a game changer, and I think teams are still adjusting to that. When to do it, when not to do it. They gave us great field position tonight because they missed a few, and the rule is the first time it goes out to the 20, and the second time it goes out to the 25, and so. It worked in our favor. I don't think they got a deuce tonight. Did they? I don't think they hit one. And if you watch them on film, they had hit a few, coming into the game. They tried it a lot. But I thought we did a great job of clock management tonight in situational football. Again, can't say enough about our effort. Really proud of the guys, and this win comes at a good time with all this adversity that we've been facing. With injuries and things like that, and just we've lost 2 close games. This team's going to get on a roll, at some point this year, and it may be now. But we got a big game next week in Frisco. I believe they're undefeated. I think they beat Massachusetts tonight. We're going in their place. So what's a better test than that? We're going to find out.
What's it say about your team when you turn the ball over right off the bat twice and then be able to fight back?
Well, I thought we showed some mental toughness. We talked about mental toughness and what that means this week, and I wanted to define that for them. And it's the point where you can be mentally broken, okay, and you can break and make people quit, and I wanted to make sure that doesn't creep into our locker room. We were going to fight for 60 minutes, and we got great leadership on this team, and the guys played well for 60 minutes. We knew it was going to be a 60-minute game. We played better on offense from last week to this week. We're not exactly where we want to be yet, but we made some progress. And I think the biggest thing I was most proud of tonight is I didn't get kicked out. So the referees, I thought they had good communications tonight. So I complained so much this week to the head of officials that I think they over communicated tonight. So I got tired of talking to them. They were coming over talking to me so much tonight.
Coach, when you ratcheted up the defense in the second half, it seemed to get into their heads because they started making penalty after penalty and it put themselves in a big hole.
Yeah, well, again, what's our identity? As an organization, our identity is we want to apply pressure, offensively, defensively, special teams, and we wanted to break them. And you don't know when you're going to break. You don't know if it's going to be first, second, third, fourth quarter, but we broke them in the fourth quarter. Mentally and physically, we started taking the game over as well. And that speaks to our strength and conditioning program, and the guys just in the mindset that they're going to play 60 minutes, and that's who we are. I mean, we talked this week about what the hell is our identity? Who are we? Okay, as an organization, who we've been since I've taken over at the reins here. It's been about pressure, and we're going to force them. And there's some nights that teams put good game plans, but the other thing that we talked about this week was there's a difference in getting beat and losing, and when you get beat, someone's just physically better than you and they beat you by 30, 40 points. They're better, that's getting beat. We haven't got beat too many times around here in the last 14, 15 years. So we're in every ball game, and we play to the end, and sometimes, most of the time it works out in our favor, but there's going to be some close games. My big thing is, it just seems like over the last 2 or 3 years, we're in some big ball games. It comes down to the end, and then all of a sudden the refs have been a part of the conversation on some of those losses. And tonight, we got a lot of penalties early, but then they tended to go, our way late in the game.
Jones playing on the defensive line. Talk about that. Just a real disruptor.
Again, my eyes are fixated on the secondary and what's going there during the game. But I know he got some pressure. I know he got a sack tonight and he got his hands up on some balls. But that's what we've been looking for. That's why we brought him here. We were looking for that middle pressure. And that was another thing we talked about. It starts at nose guard. It starts at your midline, your linebacker. And, Brightwell's came in and played 2 really good games the last 2 weeks, and his energy that he's brought on defense, and then that safety spot with Winfrey. So when you look, all those guys were making plays tonight, and when you build a football team, we build it from the inside out, and it starts there. And I thought our midline tonight was tough.
Coach, last week you spoke about the arena being traditionally the toughest place to play in the league. After that tough loss last week to Tucson, how much did the crowd help you guys?
Well, that was something that we talked about this week too as a team. Is I told the team I don't think teams fear as much coming in here, and those guys that played for us in the past handed it off to these guys, right? And we kind of lost a little bit of that. Not that we didn't play well at home, but we've lost some close games at home, especially at the end of the season. So I just don't think. I think we lost a little bit of that, and it's important that we gain that back. That we put the fear in people. When we build a team, we want to build a physical, mentally tough team. We want that team walking off the field saying, "Hey, I don't want to play those guys no more." We want to mentally break them, okay, physically break them, and that's who we are. That's who we want to be, but it's important that everybody's buying into that same philosophy.
I noticed you use Gardner a lot of different ways in the backfield. You can spread him out wide and then bring him in for him to be that kind of a weapon. I mean, that versatility.
Yeah, no, listen, he's built like a receiver. I mean, he's got an interesting build to a tailback. He's kind of slim and taller, and and these teams that what we call the bandit position, when they put their strong safety on, we got to win that matchup. And be frankly, I wanted to get him more involved. And we're going to do that. We got a young man right now that's on IR, and when he gets back, we're going to have 2 really good running backs. Y'all hadn't seen him yet, but he's I think he's got a chance to be pretty good too. So I think you're going to need two of them, just like you need two linebackers to finish the season because they're such physical positions. But I feel good about those positions. We're getting better, and we're growing. And obviously, we've got some quality tape, and we'll just continue to build on what we did.
How will you ensure that the pressure you put on them in the fourth quarter carries into next week?
Well, I mean, we're going to enjoy tonight, and then tomorrow we'll get back at it, watch film, get our weights in, and then give the guys Monday off, and then we'll start getting ready for Frisco, on Tuesday. So I always like to get the game over with, and put it behind us within the first 24 hours, and then move on to the next team. And but that, I think that has something to do with our leadership, and I think our players understand what we can be, and we'll come out with the right mindset. If I know our leaders in our locker room, they're going to make sure that we're focused. It's a big game. Frisco's undefeated, and a lot of people were questioning us. And I thought our guys came out and answered the phone. Like I said, we got a lot of pride in this organization, so we're going to keep building on it, and we look forward to the challenge next week. Okay.
Houston back in the lineup tonight.
You're cutting into my beer time, man. Let's get it going here. All right. What do you got?
Just quick thoughts on his performance back in the lineup.
Who is this?
Isaiah, Houston.
Isaiah. Oh man, listen. He had a great return. At the end of the game, he ran a great post route. On the safety there. At the end of the game, so it was great. It was great to have some of that veteran leadership back at the receiver. I think Jorge needed that. Last week, I guess I could talk about it now, but last week we only had 4 receivers healthy on the roster, and one of them was questionable. And sure enough, he called me Saturday morning at 6 a.m. Last week when we played Tucson, and he's like, "Hey, my hamstring kind of tightened up," and he's like, "I don't think I'm going to be able to go." So now we're down to 3 receivers, and we went out in the first quarter, and Braxton Haley got hurt, and he gutted it out and to finish the game. But we really used him as a decoy. We moved him around. He couldn't do anything physical at all. It limited us on offense, and we were basically playing with 2 receivers and Gardner, and and that's there was a lot going through my mind last week, from all the stuff that was going on with the injuries with the offense, trying to break in a new quarterback into our offense, and then defensively, we just didn't play at the level we needed to play at last week. But we came back and answered the phone this week. So hopefully we'll come out of this game healthy and can get some guys back healthy and get them back in the lineup, and let's go play and win some ball games. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Can you talk about just applying that pressure near the end of the game? You guys kind of had them rattled finally. You guys get down 3rd, 4th down, and then they're able to convert. He's such a great quarterback, but you were able to get to him in that 4th quarter.
Yeah, man. I was, us as a defense, we was challenged at the beginning of the week. We knew we had to get some pressure on him, man. He's a gunslinger. He's gonna put the ball where it needs to be, and he's gonna get it out quick. So we know we had to, apply pressure and get our hands up where we couldn't get to him.
And I think I noticed you really kind of thrive off the crowd and trying to get them going. How did that help you guys getting the crowd going?
Of course. Yeah, I love energy. And that's something I pride my play on. I'm a very emotional player, and I play with my emotions on my sleeve every game. So just to get into the rhythm of, settling in and embracing the crowd and taking it all in, it was just something that gave me an extra boost, especially in the 4th quarter.
So what improvements did you see defensively this week compared to last week, considering you guys only gave up 37 tonight and we got a big win?
I think if you cut the tape on, you see us, we learning to trust each other. We playing together, we stand together. We got to understand it's going to be highs, it's going to be lows, it's going to be ups, it's going to be downs. We just got to stick together and we got to gut it out. When we play together, we're really hard to score on. We're really hard to move the ball on when we play together. And that's the difference between last week and this week. We stuck together.
You interact with the crowd so much. How nice is it to have, 10,000 people instead of maybe 3, 4, 5,000?
You taking shots at somebody, huh? yeah, my man. No, it's lovely, man. I love this organization. I love this arena. I love these fans, man. I love this team. I enjoy every bit of it. I'm extremely blessed to be here, and I you know, I take pride in Coach Guy and him bringing me here, and I love every bit of it.
What was the talk at halftime in the locker room that, because the defense in the second half really ratcheted up, and especially you got a lot more pressure on the second half, yet you were fighting through the double team. What was the plan?
Well, for once, you know, Coach Guy came in calm. When he comes in calm, we know, okay, all right, you know, there's a lot less tense. But it was just keep playing, stay together. We knew we was coming out. We knew we had to get a stop, and just stick together, man. Gut it out. You know, like I said, it's gonna be switch and turns. It's gonna be highs and lows, regardless of what the situation is. We just got to stick together and keep playing. Cool.
I mean, how that feel to get that interception? That basically sealed the game at that point.
It felt good. Guys, man, we had a tough week of practice. You know, I'm not gonna say we were in a must-win situation, but we're in a must-win situation, man. You know, we expect to win here, and we haven't been winning, so it felt good. But that's what we expect, man. We expect to come in here and win. We expect to come in here and dominate, and we expect teams to come in here and fold. So we just gotta get the ball back rolling and be consistent and bring it in, week out.
So Dylan, big change in this post game compared to last week. Tell me, what did you see on the back end that you know you only allowed 37, and just things that went well compared to last week, improvements?
Just for telling the young guys, man, trust what you see. Trust what you see. Teams coming out, they double moving us, so they give us a regular route now, and we're not breaking because we don't trust. Oh, he's going to turn it up, or he's going to do. Trust what you see, because eventually you're going to win. You're going to win one, and I know that where everybody's complaining about the refs, we control that, man. We can't leave it up to the refs. And I'm telling the guys, stay together, man. We're a family, and eventually they're going to fold. They're going to break. And fourth quarter, man, we finally broke those guys, which is a tough team to do, man. Every time we play Davis, we're scratching and clawing and coming down to the last two drives every time.
Yeah, it seemed like they were calling some interference penalties on you guys early. You guys were able to work through that. And then, you know, what did you guys have to adjust to all that?
It's football. Sometimes they're gonna get the call. Sometimes we get the call. So you just gotta keep playing, man. Don't let the calls dictate your level of play. So man, just keep the foot on the gas. Keep playing aggressive. Keep playing aggressive.
Excellent.
What a game.
Yeah, I mean, you were big in that third quarter. You scored all 30 points in that third quarter. I think what the Deuce to start the second half, and then field goal. And, I mean, that's a pretty good weapon to be able to kick those kickoffs.
Yeah, I actually, right after the half, you know, I would love that field goal back. But that's, you know, I've developed short-term memory loss over the years, so you just have to forget about it. I remember telling Cole, I'm like, if I'm able to get the opportunity to come out and hit that deuce at the half, I'm going to hit it. And, you know, he gave me the green light, and I was able to hit it. And that really gets the momentum going for our team, especially going in the second half. And, you know, I think we were only down 1 at that point. So the deuce is big. Deuce is big.
So into the Bay Area game, tough. But since then, it seemed like an upward trajectory. Do you feel like you're, you know?
Yeah, that Bay Area game. I mean, I ended up, someone sent me a picture, and it was maybe this close to hitting that. So you just got to stay even keel, you know, keep your head on straight, especially being a kicker. You know, in this league, I've been doing this for a long time, and that's the reason, you know, why this coaching staff brought me in here. You know, being, you know, mental tough, or having that mental toughness, and you know, being able to compartmentalize, you know, throughout the game, and not letting any moment get too big. So, you know, being able to, you know, hit the deuce, not necessarily in that game, but, you know, the field goal in the third quarter, I believe it was, and just, you know, if I got to make a tackle, you know, I'm able to do that as well, and, you know, just kind of help our defensive line, you know, get stops when we need to on kickoff return, or kickoff, I should say.
So with the success of the deuce, do you think going forward that some of the teams may have to change their game plan against the Rattlers now because of that extra weapon?
Well, it really depends on how many opportunities I get. This game I got 4, so I hit 2. It was 2 for 4. It's 50%. Coming from the NAL from a couple years ago, I had 30 in a season. So I was averaging about 2 a game, a little over 2 a game. So, but I got the green light a lot more than I'm able to get it here. I believe I've progressed as a kicker since then. So I'm able to, probably get that percentage up. And as long as I get the green light from the coaching staff, I'm going to go for it. And more than likely, I should be able to hit it. It's a game changer. It really is. We were up, 37-41, I believe. There's the 4 points right there. So it's huge. They can't hit the field goal to tie. They've got pressured into, trying to score a touchdown, and we get a pick and we end the game. So it's big.
How cool was it to see that one use? Just, you couldn't have dropped it any better.
Yeah. I knew it was going to, from my angle at least, I knew it was going in. I hit it well enough. It's the ones that, they go in the second, part of the stands that they're so high, and it's just I don't need to hit it that hard. It's like a 9-iron. You know what I mean? It's just, you can't, I don't need to crush it. The leg is there, I just don't need to crush it. And it's those that, that I want back sometimes. But like I said, you got to have that short-term memory loss. You guys good? We're good?
Appreciate it. Good game.